Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching and with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2023. Today, I want to talk to you about a session that I've designed for playing with withdrawn forwards of the false nine. So I got a lot of the ideas for this session from a book that we have on the website called The Role of the Withdrawn Forward Attacking by Luca Bertolini. Just like a lot of his other books, Luca Bertolini has a lot of position-specific books. He goes into specific examples from specific players. In this one, he's obviously going to talk a lot about Messi's role at Barcelona, now at PSG. So what I did for this session when we're playing with a false nine or withdrawn forward, we're generally, obviously dropping the forward into the midfield. That space is sometimes being replaced if playing a 4-3-3 with a wider player coming in, or a center midfielder places, or you're just dragging the center back. But the concept is we're drawing that forward in to get involved in the play, and then looking for them to get forward. So I designed this session with a lot of that in mind, with the nine playing as like a target player to play off of, playing an overlap, but then using that overlap to then get forward and get into an attacking position. So this is a drill that I like to start a lot of sessions I have with my U12s with this concept of pinging it to the correct foot and then moving off the ball here. So it's a pretty simple passing pattern, but I think we can get into a lot of details of it, where we just have a first pass here. First thing we're talking about in this pass is this player that is playing as the target player over here should be looking to kind of already be turning their hips a little bit, opening up a little bit, so they're receiving. We want them to receive this ball on the left foot on this side here. So we want a firm pass, but we want the ball to be played in a way that it's not too much that they can't handle. We're looking for to play one touch, so we're talking about the weight of the pass. We're talking about playing them to the appropriate side. We're imagining there's a defender here that we're putting on our hip, and the next pass should be a pass. We're taking some of the weight off. It should be kind of leading them, but it should come to this player's right foot. Okay, so here, this player comes to the right foot. And after they pass, we want it on the left foot, because obviously that's where the defender is here, but we want them to be turning this way already. We want them to start going in the direction. We're talking about valuable seconds. We talk about how every step that is taken by every step that's taken, every drill that's taken, that's a defender getting in position. So if we can cut down a few steps, that gives us that crucial yards to get away from our opposition. So place the left foot so that player then is able to step and run into their motion. And we can make this a little tighter here. The next ball that's played, I'd like to see it come to this player's left foot right over here in a way that it bounces off their left and then go to the right. Now, one way we can add to this, I've done it indoors, which is really great because then you have a really kind of, you just play it against the wall as a rebounder here. You can play a little pug goal. You can put a goalie in net on the other side, but you have them set up for a finish or a pass. Sometimes you just have, I've done it in a gym. I set up two cones. They have to pass through the cones, bounce it off the wall, bring it back to the end of the line, which they would just then go back here to the end of the line. Had goalies, slows it down a little bit because you got to make sure that you're taking your time setting up and the goalie's ready to go so it doesn't get crazy. But again, the concept is a combination play where we have a target player. We're playing to the correct foot that sets up the pass back to play that ball through. So we're working on that, this being the target player, the forward, the false nine coming in, dropping in, and then playing that pass. Defense is sunk in to deal with that pressure, the player dropping in, and then they're breaking that line by going forward, and we're looking for that through ball to release them. Same thing on the other side. Another option is to put a couple cones here, and this right here, have them dribble through it, so they're receiving in a way that they are able to receive the pass and then dribble through those cones. So don't want to play them too long, don't want to play them too short, so it slows them down. You want to ping it right to that left foot, so it hits their left foot and bounces onto their right, and they can control it and do something with it. So again, I start a lot of sessions off with that. We do warm up that with my U12s, where we're just getting them that the concept of, it's not just passing. You're passing to a foot. You're passing to the correct position. We're looking for accuracy in our passes that set up the next pass. That's really the combination play you're going to need if you're going to play with that false nine position. So from here, I'd clear it all out, and I'm going to create a box here. And I like to do this one just to get different types of overlap. I use this one a lot in the early in preseason to get the concept of the different types of overlaps and some of the language you want to see here. So I'm going to have a player in each corner. One here. And then I'm going to have a target player playing between the lines here on each one. Where'd he go? So my target player here would be here, playing in between the lines. This guy would be here. He's going to be here. And another player playing his target man here. So we're looking for that overlap motion. Now we're not doing exactly the running off of it, but we're looking to play off the target man here. There's different patterns you can change it. You can make it a little more aggressive where this player then plays through and we are constantly rotating. But for just the sake of simplicity, I'll give you some basic movements we like to see from this. So this one I'm going to teach like a square pass, a square overlap, a through ball overlap, touch and go overlap. So a bunch of different things we want to work on. So the ball starts here in the corner. Every player in the corner has a ball. They play to this target player. When we're doing our square ball, they play a pass here, just a little square ball. And what we're looking for here is an explosive touch away from that square pass. And they're going to explode from there, and they're going to go to around the corner here. And this happens on every single corner. And so you have a fluid rotation where you're getting 8 players involved in pretty consistent overlaps. And after about 2 minutes, you're going to 1 and 2 minutes, you're going to switch them out, and the outside players will become the inside players. Again, you can get into a pattern where maybe this pass, then this player then plays the through ball here, and this player releases. So you've got them kind of constantly rotating. It's really how creative you want to get. I do one where we just play the through ball, where the through ball gets to the cone. You want the cone and the player to meet the ball and the player to meet at the corner here every single time. But it's just a pretty consistent way of getting a ton of different overlapping options in. And again, I use it pretty early in the preseason to get that, like the verbiage down of, okay, well, I'm going to call for a square ball here. Call for the square ball every single time. But again, these players are working as the false nines, playing as the target players, and we're playing off of them as they drop in. Where I'd go from here is I would have a field cut in half here. And I would have a couple attacking players. Maybe just do pair here. It doesn't matter. It's kind of whatever you feel you deem necessary. And we have 1, 2 here. And we're going to have 2 defenders over here. 2 defenders over here. A goal that we can then maybe put in a goalie or a small-sided goal, whatever it may be. And we'll play our false 9 here. So we're going to start the ball here. And we're going to have 2 players playing against 2 players. You're going to have a 2v3, 3v2, depending on how you want to change it up for the intensity of the session or the difficulty of it. But we're going to have these players try to play a ball to our false 9 dropping in, playing as the target here. When that happens, we have the false 9, then has to play a pass. And as soon as they're able to play a pass, they're able now to enter this grid. They can't just take the ball and dribble. It has to be they play something where they're opening up, finding a player forward, and now they're getting involved. And we're looking for a connection, maybe to them, maybe to somebody else, but to find a shot on goal. Maybe you have something where you take out one of these players. The next progression could be you take out one of the players from the attacking grid and to kind of keep it in line with what we were just working on. You have this player play here. Once the target player receives a pass, we can have a player from this grid move in, and they can play maybe an overlap here. And now we can make it a 4v2. So we're showing the advantage of the overlap of getting players forward, of playing off that false 9. It's dragging the defenders in. They've made it easier to break their lines. Maybe center backs crept up a little too high, and we have them then play the overlap and find a way through. Play a little square ball, and we go. So yeah, kind of vary that. We can vary the numbers we want to have. We can change it up to 3v2, 2v3, up the difficulty, lower the difficulty, make this feel a little wider, put a goalie in. Anything that's going to kind of make it a little bit more difficult. And we can clear it here. And now we'll get a little bit more into making it game-like. But what I got here is one where I call it release beast, where we're going to have our false 9 confined to a box. and they could play. I mean, let's make it decently big, okay? Let them roam a little bit, but they can't leave this area. They have to be moving around this area in a way that's going to allow them to check the different areas to try to get the ball, but not so confined like that they can't move at all. And then we'll play, again, depending on what numbers you got, 77, 99, 11, 11. We'll basically have a full-sided game half field here. And what we're seeing is if you can play a pass into this target, the false 9, and they can then play a pass and release that to another player, they can then get involved. So we're looking for it. It should be even numbers, but the red player will release and create an overload. So the false 9 is dropped into the box. We play them into the box. They're able to then play a pass, play a square ball, through ball, whatever it may be. They can release from the box. As long as black team has possession, they're allowed to stay out of it, and then they receive a pass, and we're going to find a shot here. Okay? So the idea is the false 9 is they're forcing that ball to them to release them, because when you're able to play them, it's going to create the numerical overload. As they release, they draw people in. They then are able to play the ball back, and then from there play through and get into an attacking position from the overlap. So yeah, and from here, what I would do is just play a regular game, playing with a false 9 from both teams, and then naturally kind of look at how that looks and if we're able to implement any of these concepts in from our session so far. So question I have for you guys, just, I generally haven't played with a false 9 that much. So what are your key points, and what are the key talking points you deliver to your false 9, and what are you looking for them to do in your game model? So again, my name is Matt Carroll with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2023, and a book that we're going to have in the comment section so you can check it out, The Role of Withdrawn Forwards in Attacking Play by Luca Bernalini. I hope this session finds you well.